I'm Ashwin from ManageEngine ServiceDesk Plus team, and I will be handling this webinar for you today. Also with me is Santosh Magiban, the product expert, who will help me answer all your questions on ServiceDesk Plus and the other products from ManageEngine. Today, this webinar is about transforming your service desk into a complete control center for IT rather than just being a ticketing team in some corner of your business. Today, the business landscape is constantly evolving. This means that businesses have multiple challenges and hurdles to cross in order to be successful. Say, for example, the aviation industry. The increasing number of people who prefer air travel over the other means of transport and the demand it creates to operate more number of aircraft with the existing infrastructure has posed multiple challenging scenarios like this one, having to take off and land multiple aircrafts from the same runway at the same time. Now that's scary, isn't it? Probably it isn't so scary for the pilot from his cockpit. That is because technology enables him to do this stunt without any fear. And equally, each business has its own set of challenging scenarios that they have to succeed in order for the business to go on. Now, in this case, it is the technology that enables the pilot to do this. But it actually is the air traffic control center with the right set of tools, the right control, the right decision making power that makes this process possible over and over again without any mishappenings. Now, this all you IT teams and IT help desk around the world are nothing less than an air traffic control center in your business. You need the right set of tools and the right integration between these tools, the right data, the right decision making, and the right control over your processes and your IT environment to help your business succeed and in order to promote yourself into a strategic partner for your business. So ManageEngine helps you do exactly the same with its host of enterprise IT management software, starting from the IT service desk software to Active Directory management tools to desktop device management and mobile device management tools, network monitoring software, and even IT analytics and business intelligence software. Now the real value add here is that most of the software from ManageEngine integrate with our flagship IT help desk software, ServiceDesk Plus, helping you transform your service desk into a complete control center for IT. So today in this webinar, we will go through three scenarios that IT teams like you face year on year. The first is the phase of rapid expansion. The second is how you handle things when a disaster strikes, particularly when you have low visibility on your IT network. And finally, when you have to validate your request for additional manpower or additional infrastructure to your senior management. And we will be talking about this fictional organization called Zilker. Now on Zilker's IT side, we have Marcus as the CIO, Catherine as the service desk manager with Jason, Scott and Adam as a team. And on the business side, we will talk a lot about Wendy and her interactions with the service desk teams. And unfortunately for the service desk teams, mostly unpleasant arguments and a bit about Dave and John. Now moving to our first scenario of rapid expansion at Zilker. Most of us IT teams have come across this situation when suddenly the organization starts growing in its size rapidly and we are left with no options with huge new employee onboarding request backlogs. Same is the situation here at Zilker today. Zilker, fortunately, has had huge growth in the last few quarters, and it expects double-digit growth in the coming quarters to come. This means that Zilker grows as an organization and more number of new employees join Zilker every single day. Now this has a huge challenge for the Zilker IT team onboarding all these employees successfully. Typically today at Zilker, a new employee onboarding request is raised by Wendy or sometimes Dave, the HR manager, to Catherine, who then breaks it up into multiple tasks and assigns it to her team. Scott takes care of anything and everything related to Active Directory. Jason handles all the software installation and OS deployment. And Adam has to take care of email accounts, ID cards, and access permission. Now everybody is happy from Wendy, Catherine, and the IT team when there is just one new employee onboarding request to handle, or at worst, two new employee onboarding requests to handle. But now that is not the case. The rate at which Zilker is growing, the team has to onboard multiple people every single day. Now that has led to huge backlogs for the IT team. Now all smiles are gone. Wendy is unhappy, Catherine is obviously not, and her team is also not. So now Wendy is losing her cool, and she starts pressurizing Catherine because 10 of her new employees who came on last week either don't have proper workstations or don't have proper access around the office or to services that they need to avail. Catherine is stuck between an unhappy Wendy and an angry team. Scott says that the Active Directory process is too prone to errors and lengthy, and he needs more time to do it right. Jason talks about all the manual installation process, and Adam just goes on about the password reset tools that he has to do all day. Now, every time something goes bad, you always get a call from your boss who wants everything to be fixed ASAP, a solution immediately. That's the case with Catherine now. She gets a call from Marcus asking to identify the bottlenecks and fix this new employee onboarding process ASAP. Now Catherine has no clue how she is going to do that. It is here that ServiceDesk Plus comes to the rescue. Now ServiceDesk Plus, with its integration with Desktop Central, AD Manager Plus, and AD Self-Service Plus, helps you handle situations like the new employee onboarding process, get all the tasks related to it completed, all from a single window or from a single console. Now let me jump back to Service Desk Plus and show you how this can be done effectively. So this is the self-service portal of ServiceDesk Plus. So when Wendy logs into ServiceDesk Plus, this is the interface that Wendy will see. And this UI currently that you are seeing is still in its beta stage, and it is expected to go out anytime soon. So Wendy just has to go ahead, select the request to start the process associated to the new hire right from the request catalog and fill it out. So let's just go ahead and create a request for new employee onboarding of, say, John, and his department is marketing and his role is marketing analyst. Now if you have any additional information that you have to add, it can be added here in the description section. Also in Service Desk Plus, you can create the resources section wherein you will be able to collect all the information related to this particular request right at the time of ticket creation. So let's just say John needs a desktop and the model is HP, and the additional hardwares are speakers and multimedia keyboard. He needs Adobe and Skype. And apart from that, you can also select the accounts that John needs access to and the additional devices that he needs. So now let's just add this request. Now let me jump back to the technician login in ServiceDesk Plus. Pick up this particular request and see how this can be executed from a single console in ServiceDesk Plus. So moving on to the request module, this is the technician login of ServiceDesk Plus. So I will go ahead, pick up this particular request that Wendy has raised just now and execute it. So this is the request that Wendy raised just now and it is automatically assigned to Catherine. As we saw earlier, the new employee onboarding request in at Zilker has multiple tasks and all these tasks can be configured with your service request in ServiceDesk Plus. So we have 6 tasks associated with this particular new employee onboarding request and it starts with creating an Active Directory entry. Now Scott is usually assigned with all the Active Directory processes. Now we saw Scott saying that this process of creating a new Active Directory entry was prone to error, was lengthy, and he needed all the time to do that, which was because typically without the right integrations, your technicians would have to go back to their Active Directory management software, create a new user, copy all the details, come back to the service desk, enter the details in the ticket, and so goes the process. But by integrating AD Manager Plus with ServiceDesk Plus, all you have to do is just click the Actions button and select Create User in AD. Apart from this, your technicians can also unlock users, enable and disable users. So now let's just go ahead and create a new Active Directory entry for John. Now this HTML page pulls in all the information about the domain and the templates from AD Manager Plus. Also, the form here is auto-populated based on the values that you entered in your ticket. Apart from this, in ADMP, you can have your email policy set so that just with the first name and last name entered in this form, an email account is automatically configured based on your email policy. Say it is first name dot last name or first name last name at yourdomain.com or whatever. So you can just go ahead, create an user for John in Active Directory and it just gets created right from here. Now that's 2 processes in one go. Moving ahead, Jason is responsible for providing the requested workstation and installing the requested software. Again, we saw Jason complaining that manual installation took him a lot of time. Now it will no more with the Desktop Central integration. Now once you integrate Desktop Central, the desktop device management software from ManageEngine, you can deploy software installations and uninstallations right from within the service request. Also, apart from that, Desktop Central integration empowers you with software deployment capabilities, patch management capabilities, being able to set user level configurations, take remote control, initiate a chat or remote shutdown, or make announcements of end user workstations all from within your service desk, and even lets you manage and inventory your mobile devices right from within your service desk. So let's just go ahead and install all the requested software into John's new workstation. So select the type of installation, select the package name, select the domain under which John or his workstation is listed, and let's install this for the particular workstation that has been assigned to John. Select the workstation from this list of all the workstations under the particular domain that you have selected and close it. So once you click save in here, a task is created from Desktop Central into your request here in ServiceDesk Plus. Now this particular task is going to push in this particular installation is going to push in the software installation once that particular workstation is recognized in the network. And the question of Scott having to deploy the OS first in case John needs a different OS like Linux, you can as well push the OS deployments into the particular workstation using OS deployer from ManageEngine. Now this OS deployer can push OS deployments into and draw hardware once it is connected to the particular network. So we are done with your onboarding John into Zilker with a new Active Directory account for John, an email access for John, and laptop provided and workstation provided, his OS deployed in case he needs Linux apart from Windows, and the requested software installed. And now let's just assume that Adam does his work of providing the ID card and all the requested access. So there we go, done with our first scenario of onboarding a new employee with ServiceDesk Plus and its integration. Now to the second scenario of handling your disastrous events. Now we saw that Zilker as a team is rapidly expanding. So that means that most of the servers, particularly their mail server, is operating at its maximum capacity and is prone to repeated breakdowns. Now, when a small team like Zilker, IT team like Zilker, with no proper mechanism to monitor their network, when a disaster strikes, it could be worse than all. And unfortunately for them, their mail server decides to test the level of team's performance, and it goes down one fine day at 8 a.m. in the morning. And business starts at 8:30 a.m. Wendy, as we all know, who already has lots of unpleasant experience with the Zilker IT team, now sees that she is not able to access her mail. So she loses her cool again, flags in a request with high priority, high impact, and high urgency, and submits it to Catherine. When Catherine logs in, she already has more than 50 requests, all for the same mail server issues in a ServiceDesk Plus. She has no clue what has happened, assigns all these tickets to Scott and asks him to look into it. So Scott investigates the whole issue, finds that the mail server is down, works on the issue, and somewhere around 10 a.m. in the morning, all mail servers are up, and by 10:15, the end users are informed about the mail servers being up again. But this was not the right approach to handle such a disaster. For more than 2 hours, the IT team did not have a fix. They were slow to issue the fix, and for 1 hour, business had taken a hit. That is huge business impact. Now, the smarter way and the mature way of handling such disasters is to have a check on your network and make sure that any such alarms or potential failure threats from your network are reported to your service desk. Say in this case, say assume that Zilker IT team has a mature mechanism in place that helps them to do so. When at 8 a.m. the mail servers go down, a new request is created in their service desk with all the parameters set and assigned to Scott at 8 a.m. and he fixes it even before business starts. So end users don't even have to know that mail server was probably down. Now, the role of any IT team doesn't stop here. You will have to make sure that such disasters don't strike again. So Scott goes further, links filters and links all the tickets related to this particular mail server alarm and initiates a problem analysis. So he finds that the issue is with the mail server. Now he informs this to Catherine, who now initiates and change request based on the investigation that Scott has performed on the mail server, associates all the problems and incidents related to this particular mail server and mail server issues with this particular change request, adds Marcus as the cab, and he approves it, and the team executes the change. Now this is a better way to handle a disaster. The team was more proactive, they provided a fix, and they even fixed this issue once for all making sure that this disaster doesn't strike again, and also business had the minimal hit and they made sure that business never takes a hit again. Now this is possible by integrating ServiceDesk Plus with Op Manager, the network monitoring software from ServiceDesk Plus. So let me just show you how this particular mechanism of triggering and ticket into ServiceDesk Plus from Op Manager can be done using Op Manager. All you have to do is set up notification mechanisms inside Op Manager that will help you automatically create tickets, assign ticket parameters like categories, subcategory, and even assign it to a particular technician or a technician group, all based on the alarm criteria. So click on monitoring, click here on notifications. So let's create a new profile, notification profile, select log a ticket, and in this case the category is services and the subcategory is email. The item is email server going down. The priority is obviously high, and this particular ticket has to go to the server issues support group, and we will assign it to Scott. You can also set the titles based on the variables from the alarm in Op Manager. Select all the descriptions that you want to go into the description of the ticket and move on to selecting the criteria depending on which this ticket has to be created. So there are multiple criteria from which you can choose, and I'm going to select when a device misses one ping, Op Manager has to create a ticket in ServiceDesk Plus. So now you can associate this profile either to a category or to a business view or to specific devices. So I will associate with this particular profile with this device, and you can schedule this profile to be executed at some particular time after the alarm has been generated. And finally, you get a preview of all the settings that you have done. Add a name to this profile, say email, and you can test the action. Now this creates an ticket in ServiceDesk Plus. So here is the ticket. So you will see the ticket that is generated by ServiceDesk Plus. We will filter out to all my requests. So all requests. So you will have Op Manager create a ticket with all the variables about, okay, sorry, this is the end user login. I will have to go to the technician login. Yeah, so here you will find the ticket that was created from Op Manager with all the information that you need about the alarm ID, the description automatically assigned to a technician and with its priorities set. So this is how you handle disasters or any potential threats that your IT team could face by integrating Op Manager with ServiceDesk Plus. Now moving on to the next third scenario. Now as we saw, Zilker is rapidly expanding, which means that more new employees, more new onboarding requests, more people to manage, more assets to handle, and more tickets to close, more and more everywhere, but your team stays the same 3-member team, and your team has to work even on weekends, giving up their movie plans, their dates, even their chillaxing time just to close all their requests. Now, as any caring boss, Catherine wants to help her team. She goes back to Marcus, asks for additional manpower. Oh, like any boss, he gets back denying for more additional manpower. So when Catherine insists that she needs more time and her team is already working over the time even on weekends, just to clear the backlog, Marcus asks her to come up with a report of all the information about their team's work log, their ticket load, backlogs, end user satisfaction, and anything that he can think of. Now, Catherine thinks that she has to spend an entire weekend. She has to spend her entire weekend generating all the reports that Marcus has asked. So she cancels all her shopping plans, gets back to her office in order to just generate these reports. Now you see that Catherine's team is happy for one reason, that their boss is also joining them this weekend with all the work for her. Now these are the smaller pleasures of life, right? When your boss faces the heat from his or her boss and she also has to give up all her weekend plans. Now, little does Catherine know that she can generate all the reports that Marcus asked, even better reports with the Analytics Plus integration. Now, this Manage Engine Analytics Plus is the analytics and business intelligence software from Manage Engine. The product was launched last month and is still in its beta stage. So let me just go back to ServiceDesk Plus and show you how this integration helps you generate all the requests that you need. Okay. So just go on to the reports tab in ServiceDesk Plus and select the advanced analytics option that you get with ServiceDesk Plus. Now this instance is integrated with Analytics Plus. So once you click the Advanced Analytics tab, you will be taken into the Analytics Plus products itself. Now in Analytics Plus, you can generate reports and dashboards for multiple databases. So let me select a database that has all the relevant information and data that Catherine needs to generate all the dashboards. Now, once you integrate Analytics Plus with ServiceDesk Plus, you get some out-of-the-box reports like the CIO dashboard, which has all the information that a CIO needs to know about your help desk performance, compare it with the last year's performance, the trend, and the happy customers, the unhappy customers, and all that. It has your service desk manager dashboard, your SLA analysis, technician leaderboard, and backlog analysis dashboard. Now, Catherine has created one such dashboard which has all the information that she needs in order to convince Marcus about about the expansion at Zilka. So it has information about the incoming ticket in March and the trend that it has gone up compared to the previous month, the number of unhappy customers on the end user side, the number of major incidents, and also the average resolution time, which obviously has gone up from 12 days to 14.3 days this month. It has also all the requests by department and by category. The ticket inflow by hour showing that ticket inflows vary rapidly and also they are high at any point of time in a day. There is one dashboard that shows all the requests completed by her technicians and comparing the number of open requests and closed requests by each member of her team and the total number of backlog by customer. And obviously, unfortunately for the team and for Wendy has the highest number of backlog tickets. Now let's just say that Catherine wants to create a new report about the amount of time that each of a member has spent on resolving tickets. That can be done pretty simply. So she just has to create a new chart view and select, and the chart view is going to be based on requests. And here on this drag and drop interface, she has to configure the graph to get the right information. So on x-axis goes the start time and on y-axis goes time to resolve in days, and we will have it categorized by technicians. So add it here on technicians, and in case she wants to filter it based on the time, she again can add start time here, filter it out for the last 4 months and click on generate report. You can choose between various types of reports like bar chart or stacked bar chart. So I guess this shows well on how her team has been working hard in the previous months. So let's just yeah, generate the report. Yeah, so this shows that the amount of time her team is putting in to resolve tickets has been going up since January this year. Now let me just save this particular report as time to resolve technicians and save this to the folder dashboards. So once I'm done saving this, I can go back to the existing dashboard, edit this particular canvas and add the report that we just created, time to resolve technicians. You just have to drag it and drop it here and save this, go to view mode and save this dashboard. Once Catherine is done generating her dashboard, she can now share this dashboard to Marcus right from within here. Choose to email it or schedule such dashboards repeatedly and have it shared with Marcus and other members of the top level management. Choose to export it as HTML or as PDF or even embed it on their website or blog for a whole organization to view it. So what Kathleen thought would take the whole weekend to do is done with just a matter of few minutes or maximum an hour on a simple drag and drop interface without any single line of coding. So moving back, we are done with the third scenario of creating all the advanced analytics and intelligence information that Catherine needs to convince Marcus for her request for additional manpower. So the next slide summarizes all the integrations of ServiceDesk Plus with other products from ManageEngine and the parts that they provide to your service desk. So starting with Op Manager, which gives you network monitoring capabilities, Desktop Central and MDM, which gives you Windows Desktop Management and Mobile Device Management capabilities, AD Self-Service Plus and AD Manager Plus, which provides you with Active Directory Management, and ManageEngine Analytics Plus, which gives you advanced analytics. Apart from these basic native integrations, you can also make use of extensions and APIs to integrate ServiceDesk Plus with other third-party applications and create custom request menus to execute scripts from within your request. So that's it about how you transform your ServiceDesk Plus into a complete control center for IT. You can start posting your questions and we will have it answered now. And in case you want to contact the ServiceDesk Plus team, you can write to hello@servicedeskplus.com or mail to me at ashwinram.r@zohocorp.com.
Okay, this is Santosh here, the technical expert. With regards to employee creation portion, does ME integrate with Exchange? So with regards to integration with Exchange, we'll get back to you on that. But as Ashwin explained earlier, when you have the integration with AD and where they had the unified console, it does create the user account and the email of that user as well in the AD. So there's a question about how to attach files to requests. There are provisions to attach files in the request. So once after you create a request, you can attach files. So it's applicable for both incident request as well as for service request. So integration between the ME products, when you go into ServiceDesk Plus under the admin console, there is a provision called as configure other ME products, where you can provide the credentials of Desktop Central and Active Directory AD products as well. And from there, you should be able to integrate both the products. So with regards to the question where is there an automated feature to authorize and integrate it with ManageEngine, so that's what we just discussed. Under ServiceDesk itself, you can integrate the other ME products, and also in Desktop Central, if you go into the admin console or in the other tools, you will also have provision to provide the ServiceDesk Plus credentials. So when all tasks are completed, can we automatically close the request? There is a request closing rules option that we have under the admin tab, and under help desk customizer, you're going to have request closing rules. So over there, you have an option that says automatically move the status of request to any completed status when all the tasks in a request has been closed. So this way, even if the task is closed or any custom status of a task you have, which is related to closed, if it's moved to that status, the tasks are completed, and once the tasks are completed, the request can automatically be completed. So there's a question about removing the employee once they leave the organization with AD. So yes, with AD Manager, you will be able to disable that particular user from the Active Directory itself. So there's a question about what are the other monitoring tools and alerting tools that ServiceDesk Plus connects with. So right now, ServiceDesk Plus connects with Op Manager, and there are other ManageEngine products like Application Manager, which can also be integrated with ServiceDesk Plus, and also the other tools as shown through this presentation, like the Desktop Central AD Manager tools, they can also be integrated. So with regards to monitoring tools, we have Op Manager and Application Manager that can be integrated. So there's a question about SLA and OLA for tasks. Right now we have SLAs for incident requests and service requests. So for tasks, we just go by the scheduled start time. So SLAs or OLAs for tasks is in our product's roadmap, and it's not yet implemented into the application. So there's a question about what knowledge-based tools does the ServiceDesk connects to. And right now, we have Solutions tab within the application, which helps you to build your knowledge base within ServiceDesk Plus itself. And also, in your organization, if you have a CSV file and maintaining all your documents in that, you can import that into ServiceDesk. Or if you have an external tool that you want to integrate it with ServiceDesk, we do have APIs for knowledge base, or we call it as solutions. You can make use of the APIs and integrate that tool with ServiceDesk and push the knowledge information into ServiceDesk Plus application. So there's a question about additional fields for tasks. So right now, we have not introduced additional fields for tasks. We only have templates for tasks. So this requirement is in our roadmap. And can you export knowledge or base or solution out of ServiceDesk Plus into another tool? So as said, we have options to run reports using by reporting those information out. You can export the data out from ServiceDesk Plus. So there's a question about can we export CI relationships from CMDB in ServiceDesk Plus. So to export any data from ServiceDesk Plus, there is a reporting section that we have in ServiceDesk Plus where you can run reports across any of those modules. If you want to extract all the data, you can just run a normal report on that module. Once the report is generated, you have an option to export this data into XLS or CSV or HTML doc, and you can extract the data outside. So there is a question about integrating ServiceDesk with Nagios. Now, within the product itself, we did not bring in options as how we brought in for ADMP or other tools. However, we have APIs which you can make use of, and also there is an option called as Request Custom Menu, where you can make use of any scripting, or you can also make use of APIs that we have in ServiceDesk and integrate two different products. Now, ServiceDesk has APIs where you can create requests, tasks, work logs, knowledge base. So you have these APIs that's provided by ServiceDesk. Likewise, if there are other tools which provide such kind of an API, you can make these two APIs talk with each other, and as Ashwin showed about the integration or the request, having the menu populated from the request module itself, you can build up these menus in ServiceDesk itself, and the information of regarding to all of these will be available in our admin guide. So even if there is not a tight integration available directly within these products, you can still make use of our APIs, integrate these products. If you want to bring up a menu, you can make use of the request custom menu that we have under the admin tab, and the detailed information of these kind of integration is available in our admin guide, which is on our website. And also, if you go to resources.manageengine.com, and for ServiceDesk Plus, we are going to have a lot of these scripts posted there. So ServiceDesk team does work on scripts helping customers to perform different operations. So integrations like these will also be part of our resources section. So I'm just going to give the URL again. It's going to be resources.manageengine.com, and there you can go for ServiceDesk Plus, and from there you can get those scripts. So there is a question about a release management in ServiceDesk Plus module. Now, this release management for now has been dealt as a projects. So we have projects module in ServiceDesk where any IT related projects or projects that evolve from a change can be tracked over here, and these projects can be tagged into the implementation of the change. So if in case a change is going to exceed more than an estimated time, or if you figure out that a change is going to take more number of hours to get it completed, or if it has many subdivisions, you can do it as a change and as a project, and have that project connected to this particular change. So this way you can track the whole implementation through the project. So that's how we normally deal with the releases right now in ServiceDesk through the projects module. And with regards to the resources section that I was talking about, where we do scripting, I'm just going to read the full URL to you guys so you can make a note of it. The URL is as it goes: resources.manageengine.com/resources/forums/service-desk+. Okay, so thank you so much for your time, everyone. And on behalf of Ashwin and myself, Santosh, we thank you for joining this session.